So, what is logos? Logos is when a writer appeals to an audience's sense of reasoning. Um, Something to keep in mind, logos is not formal logic or formal reasoning, but instead appealing to or tapping into cultural logics or a way of reasoning shared by a group of people. So, if you're kind of noticing a pattern here, something to really keep in mind when you're assessing a writer's effectiveness of appealing to pathos or to logos, um, it's something that is going to target a group of people, or a certain demographic of people, right? um, this is one of an it is this is the video that I like to use, excuse me, a video I like to use in my on-site classes. I'm not going to play it for you guys just for the sake of keeping these brief. But if you've seen this one, it's I can't believe it's not butter video. um, and you have this man who is dressed as, um, maybe a monk, or I'm not really sure, yoga instructor, and he's holding this butter and he's saying vegan, organic, as he's popping in and out of the screen. And so if you think about the cultural logics or the reasoning that's shared by Americans, um, organic or vegan, those are kind of terms that get tossed around a lot, and that we emphasize certain groups of people emphasize, right? And so that would be a way that this particular video is appealing to a group of people's cultural logics or way of reasoning. So logos can be located in different areas of writing. It can be located in the overall structure. There can be smaller arguments, or logical moves at the paragraph or even within sections. And then local structures within sentences. So you can even get down to analyzing the different sentence structure, the way that sentences are constructed in an author's writing. Some things that you can look at for logos as far as overall arrangement goes, looking for juxtaposition, right? So these are those, when two images are placed side by side that are opposite one another. So day and night, black and white, things like that. Analogies, comparing and contrasting. So this is when the writer might be making stark comparisons or contrasts of different topics or things in their article. Is there a narrative? Is there a clear narrative that you can trace through the story? One example I can think of is David Sedaris' article, Letting Go. There's a narrative of him telling his story of how he went from being a non-smoker to a smoker to a non-smoker again, right? Cause and effect, that if this happens, then this will happen. They're kind of appealing to that logic of, well, if you don't vote, then what, right? And then problem solution. They're sharing these problems that are happening, and then they're maybe providing a solution, or maybe they don't provide a solution, and they're really playing on that there's this issue happening that needs to be addressed. Smaller arguments, so this again at the paragraph level, are there lists and repetition? Are they arguing by example? Cause and effect, and then again consequences. That problem and solution, going back to problem and solution. And then local usage, transitions, titles, word choices. So are there subheadings? What word choices do they make? Are they using more academic language, or are they using slang? Things like that. Transitions. How is the structure, the organization of their writing set up? Are they using transitions like first, second, third? Are they saying things like when, then, while, things like that? And then another thing to look at is voice. So thinking about the writer's voice, are they having this self-dramatization, right? I think Sedaris does this. And then the character presented by one style of language. So what kind of character are they creating for themselves in the language that they use? Again, if the language is really flowery and academic, then maybe they're creating this character who's very intelligent and very credible. If they're using slang, maybe they're creating a character who's more approachable or who can relate more to the demographic that they're trying to reach. Okay, so for the next video, I'm going to talk about rhetorical distance, and then that'll kind of cover it all.